welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm Alex Hayden, and today marks the first time we'll see the Cup Series running here at the Indianapolis Road Course. This track will offer the drivers plenty of challenges with those left and right turns, but whoever wins today will get to say that they have won at the racing capital of the world. Drivers are ready, the cars are gridded. Now let's head trackside and get those engines fired.
Ladies and gentlemen, that means it is time for us to get started tonight for this NASCAR Cup Series edition on NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream kick started tonight. We are at the Indianapolis Road Course for the running of the Verizon 200, the inaugural Indianapolis Road Course race for the NASCAR Cup Series. Of course, that took place in real life last season. Our driver Ryan Blaney is going to come into today's race looking for a third straight victory. Won last night at Watkins Glen and then last week at New Hampshire. So trying to go for 3 wins in a row. He's got 3 stage wins in that stretch as well on an absolute hot streak. And on the top of the screen tonight, we are going to have a live, not leaderboard, but those are the point standings going into today's race for both the regular season point standings, which obviously playoff points are awarded to the top 10, as well as the actual playoff standings on the grid as well. So I wanted to show you guys that today. Obviously, I've been doing points myself this entire season so far, so it's kind of hard at the end of every race to show you guys exactly what the full point standings look like because I have to actually update the point standings. It usually takes me a good 20 minutes or so. So here it is for you guys. You guys can look at it. I'll have that up there for the rest of the regular season, and once the playoffs begin, I will have the playoff leaderboard at the top of the screen as well throughout the course of the playoffs for this game. Something I want to add to the channel, and I'll probably end up doing that on NASCAR 06 as well as I get closer to the Chase and the Cup Series and closer to the end of the Truck and Busch Series season as well. So thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. Mark DeMars, Joshua Rumsey, Toxic Punk, Young Boy, Patrick Chatterley, King Diamond Jeff, Wade Selinsky, and others. Welcome into the stream. 15 people already watching, haven't even started the race yet today. 8 likes on the channel as well. We'll take a look at today's starting lineup, and I was going to say Ryan Blaney qualified on the pole, but for whatever reason, it has the starting third, which is not right. I did qualify on the pole. I'm a little confused at why that is the case, so I'm just going to swap us with William Byron for the sake of the... I don't even think Chase Elliott was second either. Who was second? I think Denny Hamlin was second. Where's Hamlin at? He's back in 15th. I don't know what happened with the leaderboard, to be completely honest. What is going on here? I don't know why it randomized everything. Alright, well anyway, Ryan Blaney is going to be on the pole for today's race. William Byron is going to be starting in third technically, so Chase Elliott will be outside of the front row based off of qualifying. William Byron, Daniel Suarez will be in row number 2. Row number 3 will be Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Cole Custer in row 4, Ross Chastain, Michael McDowell in row number 5. And of course the regular season points leader, Joey Logano, starting 7th. And as far as the drivers coming in around the cutoff line for the point standings as well, Austin Dillon, who comes in 45 points to the good, starts 23rd. Last driver above the cutoff line, Kurt Busch, who is 39 points to the good, is going to be starting back in the 25th position. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the first driver below the cutoff line, minus 39 points, is starting 17th, so the best of the 3 of them. Chris Buescher is over a full race worth of points out, starts 24th, so they all start about mid-pack for the most part. Get tonight's race underway. Rod G, Dark Crypto, RKM, Jerry Khalif, Furfur Express, others. Welcome everybody to the stream. A lot of people already in the chat as well. Be sure to comment in the chat throughout the course of tonight's race. Helps the algorithm. Of course, I like seeing what you guys have to say as well. And here we go. ready to kickstart back-to-back road course races on the schedule, and of course on back-to-back nights. Technically, Blaney qualified on the pole, but the green flag is in the air, and he'll be the one technically leading the field to the green, despite being in third for the initial start of this one. Chase Elliott, William Byron getting a good launch at the very front of the field. Daniel Suarez able to pull down in front of the 12 of Blaney as well. Elliott power slides his way past the 24 of William Byron through the second turn. Blaney shoots the gap to get by Daniel Suarez in turn 3. Now into 4 and 5 in the chicane, before heading into a long straightaway. Blaney getting a big draft off the 24 car of William Byron. He'll pull out a line into turn 7, looking to make the pass on the 24, and he will. 15 laps in stage number 1. That is it. Fuel window 20 to 22 laps for tonight's race. So nobody will have to pit in this opening stage. Blaney going a bit wide for entering now into the short chute on oval 1 and 2. And Chase Elliott going to be able to lead the opening lap of the race today when they get back to the start-finish line in a couple of corners. Billy Carjoy, welcome to the stream. Luke Double Z, welcome to the stream. Elliott pulling away on this opening lap. Remember, it was Blaney and Elliott who finished 1-2 at Watkins Glen last night, with Blaney getting the win. Elliott trying to repay the favor and get his second win of the season today. Any stall cups in the chat? Billy Kramer, welcome. 23-11 deal was ridiculous. Welcome to the stream. That's a good one. Yeah, how about that? Who would have... I did not see that happening today. I don't think I would have ever seen that happening. Tyler Reddick going to 23-11. The fact that it's a couple years away yet, too. That shocked me. Gonna be interested to see what's gonna go down next year at RCR, both during the season and the silly season portion of it. Who may take over? I could see Austin Hill moving up, to be completely honest. He's definitely been way outperforming Sheldon Creed in the Xfinity Series at RCR. Maybe they bring Daniel Hemrick back. I feel like RCR kind of burned that bridge, but you never know. He's still in the Chevrolet pipeline with Colleague. Blaney might have been a little bit quicker than Elliott lap 2. Elliott was definitely better on lap 1 to get to the lead. It's kind of coincidental these two qualified on the front row for today's race after finishing 1-2 on a road course last night at Watkins Glen, and they are already pulling way ahead from William Byron in third on back. Battle for the playoff point. It's going to be a good one to the end of this first stage between these two drivers. Who's going to manage their tires better, and if they get to lap traffic, that's going to be interesting too, but no guarantees that they'll actually catch any lap cars. Blaney a little bit slow in this area of the racetrack. That first corner after exiting the S's is really where Blaney's struggling right now. I feel like it's a risky move for Reddick going to 23-11 too, just because of how the next gen has been almost favoring, it feels like, Chevrolets. Like, the Chevys just have so much more of an advantage. RCR's been outperforming 23-11 this year. Trackhouse obviously has been outperforming them this year. The only Chevrolet team that I can think of that isn't I mean, even the 43 cars outperforming both of them on regular season standings this season. At Petty GMS. JTG Doherty Racing with Stenhouse is like the only one I can think of. Them and Call League. Only two Cup teams that aren't outperforming 23-11. Blaney's just slightly closing in on Elliott. He's going to lose him again in this corner. Not good that the back half of the lap is where Blaney is struggling in comparison to Chase Elliott, at least for Blaney's sake. Means if he gets around him in the front half, Elliott's going to have a good shot to get back around the 12 of Blaney at some point in time himself. Going to work their way back onto the main straight. Already lap 5 this time by. Blaney's close enough to stay in the draft behind Elliott down this long straightaway now. And as they work their way towards turn 1, Blaney not going to pull out a line here. Still a little bit too far back. Hard charge into turn 1, a little bit too hard, and he's going to lose a bit of time to Elliott. A lot better through turn 3. Not so good through the S's. And Elliott wins the race back to the throttle. Matty D to RCR, change your mind. Oh man, I don't see that happening. He's not even... Is he driving for a Chevrolet in the Truck Series right now? I don't know what manufacturer he's racing with. I think it's with Chevrolet, but I don't see DiBenedetto going there. I'd be shocked if Matty D goes to RCR. But I didn't think Reddick was going to 23-11 either, though, to be completely honest. So I guess anything could happen. Boggle Snoffers, welcome to the stream. Pagano Fan 22, welcome. Welcome anybody else I have not shouted out yet. Already over 20 people watching this live stream so far tonight. Elliott a little bit further ahead of Blaney compared to the last lap when they were on the front stretch near the start-finish line, and a lot of that was basically in that chicane the last lap where Blaney had lost time to Elliott. He also lost a little bit of time in turn 1 as well, overcooked it. A lot better through turns 1 and 2 that time, into 3, into 4, and towards the chicane they go, and Blaney is within striking distance right now of Chase Elliott. He's going to beat him back into 3rd gear, into 4th, in the draft, pulling out of line. Blaney to the outside. Elliott was trying to protect down low. This is going to be interesting into turn 7. Side by side right now. And Elliott holds on. He had the advantage on the inside, protecting that bottom lane, trying to make Blaney pass him up high, and Blaney was unable to do so. Blaney's worst area of the racetrack is right here, as Elliott's able to accelerate a bit quicker than him. Blaney going to beat him back through the shift, so he didn't allow Elliott to completely pull away that time. Hardest car to pass is going to be the driver with the clean air that Chase Elliott's got right now. Trying to race him clean. Benedetto is in a Chevrolet. Blaney looking low. He's not even going to try to draft behind Elliott. Now he'll pull up into line and he'll try to do so. Last second, pulling out into turn 1. Blaney on the inside. Elliott up high. This is a good battle going on right now. Watching these cars slip and slide. 79-degree temperature. Sunny skies. 750 horsepower package on the road courses all season. Two picking up where they left off at Watkins Glen. Blaney cleared away, had the fastest car at the Glen yesterday. These two are even right now. Blaney beats him through the shifts again to the outside. And he is going to have him clear into turn 7. He's going to throw the block now. He'll be on the bottom lane. Elliott will be up high. Blaney goes in a little hotter than what he wanted to, but he keeps it on the asphalt. That was a deep send by Ryan Blaney into turn 7. He clears Chase Elliott, and he has the lead now. And he got a little tight there. No rearview mirror to tell exactly how close Elliott is behind the 12 car of Ryan Blaney. He's right there. He is not going anywhere right now. No surprise, Blaney a little tight. He's going to lead his first lap of the race at the start-finish line. Elliott's going to have a lot of drafting help down this long straightaway behind the 12 of Ryan Blaney. As Blaney leads his first lap of the day. We're halfway through stage 1 already. Caution free. We went caution free through last night's race at Watkins Glen. Outside of the 2 stage breaks. The race before that in New Hampshire, there were 6 yellows, 4 for incident. None in the final stage. It's been since stage 2 at New Hampshire was the last caution we had 2 races ago. Blaney's got that clean air advantage now, though. Battle for the battle for the lead. Now a quick word from Duracell. I should start inserting ads at like random moments. Come back. Oh, the big one at Talladega. You missed it during the commercial break. It'll be like that scene from Talladega Nights where they had the Applebee's commercial in the middle of the wreck. They called it the long one. They were flipping for a long period of time, so they cut the commercial break, then they came back from the commercial and they were still wrecking. He's going to try to break whatever draft he can on Chase Elliott from behind him. He's starting to pull Elliott now that he's in the lead. It was tough to keep up with the 9 car when he was out in front, though. It's going to be a fun battle between the 12 and the 9 today. It was fun last night. It came down to about 12 to go before Blaney was able to get around him and pull away at the end of the race. I think Elliott's got a little bit better car today than what he had at Watkins Glen in comparison to the 12, but these two are definitely light years ahead of the rest of the field. Ice the Monkey 92 Hammer, welcome to the stream. Ryan Blaney trying to pick up stage win number 15 this season. If he can win this stage. Only 11 likes on the stream right now. We've had over 30 people watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Helps these streams out a ton as well. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. 3 straight nights of NASCAR 21 Ignition action on the channel. Last night we had the Watkins Glen race for our final season on NASCAR 21 Ignition. Indianapolis road course tonight. Tomorrow we race at Michigan. The race will start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little earlier start time than tonight's race. That will be a 400-mile event. I don't know why, but doesn't it look like this car is more skewed to the left rear corner panel compared to normal? Blaney hasn't made any contact with anybody in this race today. Not another driver nor the wall. 5.5 laps to go in stage 1. I'd imagine these two are going to battle for stage points. Now, Chase Elliott is ahead of Ryan Blaney in the regular season point standings, as you've probably seen on the top of the screen already. It's a pretty tight battle for the most part from third on back in the regular season standings. Joey Logano has over a 1-race lead on Kevin Harvick. 69 points ahead of him coming into this race today. Harvick coming off a top 5 at Watkins Glen, but Logano had a top 10, wasn't that far behind him. Harvick did close that gap because he outscored him in the stages as well. Blaney 8th in the standings coming into today's race. He didn't pick up any spots after yesterday's race. And he's only one point behind Tyler Reddick, so he was really close to getting a spot on the 8 car. Reddick is currently in 11th right now, so obviously if Blaney can outscore him in the stages and finish somewhere near him in the finishing results, he'll be able to jump up to at least 7th in the regular season standings by the end of this race today. Trying to get all the playoff points he can over these final few races. Round of 16 is going to be tough. Darlington for the Southern 500. No stability for that race. Richmond, we'll have stability on for that one, but it's going to be on expert difficulty just because of how easy that track is on champion difficulty. And then Bristol, which I have not ran at yet this season. We ran dirt Bristol, but concrete Bristol for a 500-lap race. You have 500 miles at Darlington, 400 laps at Richmond, and 500 laps at Bristol in the round of 16. It is going to be tough. All 750 racetracks nonetheless as well. Four to go this time by for Blaney. I like how you guys in the chat are just going through a bunch of random ad stuff too. Still. I think it's Chase Elliott's cup to lose at this point in real life. Are you talking about the regular season championship or like the overall championship? It's still too early to say for the overall championship. I think he's definitely the favorite, but I don't think it's his to lose. I don't think he's that far ahead of everybody else. For the regular season title, he's 47 points ahead of Blaney right now. Coincidentally, these two are running 1-2 in a race tonight and last night. Kind of fitting. Not racing for a regular season championship between these two, but they are racing for potential spot up for grabs at the end of the regular season on our NASCAR 21 ignition season. Blaney trying to get his 4th win on a road course today, too. Chase Elliott only has 1 win this season. It was not on a road course. Lap traffic starting to come into effect very soon as well. I think next lap sometime Blaney's going to catch his first lap car of the day. And we'll see how many cars he can put a lap down before the end of this opening stage. It's going to be vital. Mouse running second and am I the only one that thinks the Mickey Elliott thing is getting old? Like, real fast. I mean, this is from 2 years ago now, and people are still referencing it. Like, the guy's literally been the best driver in the Cup Series so far this season. He's got the most wins, and he's leading in the points. But this last one was a Mickey win because it was on a super speedway. And then before that at Nashville, he didn't lead the most laps. Like, come on. Like, what does this guy have to do? Hendrick fans, welcome to the stream. First lap car Blaney's going to catch is going to be the 62 car. Brendan Gaughan into turn 7. He's able to power past him on the inside. BJ McLeod, Joey Gase, Matt Mills will be the following 3. I don't think Blaney's going to lap too many cars in this opening stage. Nowhere near as many as Watkins Glen yesterday. Of course, this is 5 laps shorter as well. I don't think Blaney's that much faster than the rest of the field today. Oh, McLeod got in the wall that time. Blaney checks up a little bit behind him. He wasn't close enough to make the pass on him that corner. Looked to the inside, got pinched off by BJ McLeod. So now he's getting held up just a little bit. Elliott still hasn't caught the 62 car of Gaughan yet, though. Blaney making a pass. 2 laps to go, stage 1. funny to make fun of popular driver. I think people take it overboard. I was commentating the Nashville race on the YouTube channel a few weeks ago when he won. Like, there were so many people just being, like, absurdly childish in the chat about him winning. Like, I get trolling, but at the same time, you know, where's the respect from one fan to another? Like, oh, congratulations, your guy won. I'm just too nice to troll people. That's probably what it really boils down to. One more lap this time by for Blaney in this opening stage. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't think the AI is going to pit during the stage break. They're not consistent with it. I don't know exactly how long stage 2 is. I don't know if it's 15 laps also or if it's 20 laps. And if it's 20, it's going to be right on the edge of fuel. It's 20 to 22 laps is the window. I think for Blaney's sake, he's going to put himself back in traffic. That's dangerous to do that, but he's going to put himself in traffic. He's going to pit during the stage break and not try to keep the track position just in case everybody pits during the stage. He's going to be the leader, so he's not really going to know until he makes the decision on what everybody else is going to do. Caught Matt Mills in a pretty bad spot that time into the chicane. Had to back up behind him. He'll be able to accelerate past him on this next long straightaway in the infield portion of the track. Still at least 4 seconds ahead of Chase Elliott. And I don't think he is going to catch Quinn Houff in 36 to put him a lap down. So it looks like he's only going to lap 4 cars this stage. No free pass given in this game. So Houff is desperately going to have to try to stay on the lead lap here. I think he's far enough ahead of Blaney. He should be all right. Just a few more corners to go for the 12. Although Blaney closed quite a bit on Houff that time. Quinn better pick it up. One more turn. Oh, wow. Blaney really closed on Quinn Houff. And he is going to pass him right at the last second. Houff will go a lap down off the exit of the final corner, and Ryan Blaney will win stage 1 at Indy. So Ryan Blaney wins stage 1. Chase Elliott will end up finishing 2nd. William Byron 3rd. Daniel Suarez in 4th. And Kyle Larson will round out the top 5. Mark Truex Jr. 6th. Cole Custer 7th. Points leader Joey Logano 8th. Ross Chastain 9th. And Michael McDowell will round out the top 10 in the opening stage of the race tonight. Now, I'm not going to update the point standings at the top of the screen until after the race is over because that's just going to be too much. It took me about 20-25 minutes to get that together earlier, so I don't want to take the break during every stage to do that. And we'll advance to stage 2. Ryan Blaney will pit during the stage break. No adjustment for tires and fuel will be the call. And if nobody else pits during the stage break, then Blaney's going to start all the way at the tail end of the field. Send it through turn 1 on lap 2 of stage 2. There is probably going to be a checkup in turn 1, I'd have to imagine. Hooters is overrated. They don't even... Oh, jeez. Not going to read all that. Green flag back in the air. Blaney going to pull out of line. A bit of a checkup at the very back of the pack with those cars that were a lap down. Blaney into turn 1. Going to gain quite a few positions. Going to start braking, though, so he can file himself in line as he is 3 wide. Doesn't want to cut turn 1 either. And he's actually side by side by the time he got into the corner with the 17 car of Buescher. Buescher gets around him. Plenty of much fresher tires, and it is a 20-lap stage. I do think Blaney's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of this stage, and obviously everybody else is going to have to pit. Now they're all checking up into the chicane. There's probably going to be another major stack up in turn 7, I'd have to assume as well. Oh, yep, there it is. They are almost completely stopping in that straight line. The 12 of Blaney is just damaged the front of the 3. I was not expecting it to be that early. They were still a ways from the corner yet, but they all stayed in one single file line. And now Ryan Blaney's got damage to the front of his car. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what it was at Watkins Glen last night. He really ran right into the back of the 3 of Austin Dillon pretty hard.
Got one left. Clear, clear.
Lifted his rear tires up off the ground. That's the dangers of being at the back of the pack. And why he hesitated and thought about staying out of the pits to keep the track position during the stage break. If the AI is not smart enough to pit during the stage break, I'm going to take that to my advantage. Especially in a full race. But obviously it kind of costed Blaney there.
Clear, clear.
Going to be able to outbreak the 48 of Alex Bowman. Already up to 20th. Man, really wide that time. Yeah, he's definitely got some damage that's slowing this car up.
Stay right. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
He's going to pull to the inside this time on LaJoy. That is a full send mode into turn 7 for Blaney. He passed 3 cars getting into that corner. Slides right in front of Stenhouse in 17th. Stenhouse is in 17th. Blaney would be in 16th. Gets by DiBenedetto now as well in the next corner under Keselowski in the 2. Oh, what?
Got one left.
Blaney is getting black flagged.
Stay right. All clear.
It's saying he cut the corner, but he did not cut the corner. That is unbelievable. Invalidated lap. That was a problem on this game with the road courses when they first put the patch in
Hold your line. All right, hold your line.
that they currently have. I did not miss that corner. I had 2 tires on the curb. I cannot believe I got black flagged for that. Well, now it's going to send him a lap down in 35th. I mean, he's good on fuel to the end of the stage. He doesn't have to pit. Everybody else will. So he'll get his lap back, but I don't know that he's going to be able to make up enough time to actually win the stage now.
Clear, clear, clear.
Who's to say that's not going to happen again? Almost spun Reddick out. Blaney makes a pass on Reddick. I don't know. I'm going to try to take that corner a little bit wider from now on just to make sure. I don't want to get penalized again. Lucky enough it's stage 2 right now that I'll still have a shot to win, but that's going to cost Blaney a playoff point, though, if he does not win this stage. Don't say bad words. I didn't think I did.
Still there. Clear, clear. One left.
I know I said what, my voice cracked, but I didn't think I said anything else. He's worked his way inside the top 10 if it wasn't for the invalidated lap.
Stay right. Clear, clear. Clear, clear.
Another case of NASCAR being inconsistent with their penalties. In all seriousness, though, that should not have been A penalty. I mean, he was on the curb. Wasn't anything more egregious than what I just did through that last corner. Why was that a penalty? I have no clue. It should not have been. Just goes to show this game's still broken, ladies and gentlemen. Do not buy it if you don't have it. It is not fixed by any means. I mean, I literally ran the same line everybody else is. Like, they're getting all 4 tires down below that white line because they're staying above the curbing. Sometimes on the curbing. I was on the curbing with the 2 right side tires, but it wasn't even like those tires were below it. As long as you have 2 tires on the curbing, it's not cutting it. I had 2 tires on it and 2 tires above it. So, I don't know. No Torres, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm a lap down, unfortunately. It put me a lap down. Blaney's having to get his lap back right now instead of trying to get up there and battle for the lead. And Chase Elliott is pulled away from his teammates Kyle Larson and William Byron right now as well. Blaney to the outside of Daniel Suarez. It's going to be tough to pass him up high, but I guess because he's got fresher tires, he might be able to do it side by side into the chicane. That is a tough spot. Suarez able to make the corner. He got out of the gas, and wisely so, and it allowed for Ryan Blaney to make the completed pass. A lot of Chevys up at the front of the field right now. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Hendrick Motorsports now running 1, 2, 3 for the first time today. Blaney going a bit wide. That's going to cost him some time. Do I know Bowman Fan 48? Not that I can remember from the chat, at least. Blaney trying to stay in the draft of Larson. Down into turn 1. Larson struggling with rear grip. Blaney got to get underneath him. The exit of turn 3. Clears him into turn 4 on entry. Rides in line behind the 24 car of William Byron. Into the chicane. Beats Byron back to the throttle. He'll blow past him. And Chase Elliott's really nowhere in sight right now. Blaney with a block on Byron as soon as he pulls clear. Trying to make sure Byron's not going to have a shot to pass him in turn 7. So Chase Elliott long gone and is definitely the one to beat for Blaney's sake today. He'll get his lap back at some point. Again, 20 to 22 laps is the window. The field would be on lap 20 right now, considering they did not pit during the stage break like the 12 of Blaney. And I can see Elliott up ahead. He's a couple full corners ahead of where Blaney's at currently. Backward style pit stop, so that might make for the stops to be a little bit longer under green flag conditions compared to normal. Similar to how they were at Watkins Glen last night. He's got a lot of open room to run right now, and again, he's got fresher tires than Elliott. I think he'll be able to run him down. Perfect set of corners through the chicane that time. Carry a lot of speed into turn 7. Down into the braking zone. Perfect corner for Blaney. Elliott's looking like he stayed out of the pits again this time by. He'll be making his way to his 22nd lap this time by. Don't see anybody on pit road currently. 45 people watching right now, only 16 likes on the stream. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. Blaney going in hot into turn 1, desperately trying to run down Elliott. If you're wondering why Ryan Blaney is a lap down currently in this race, he won stage 1, then pitted during the stage break. And then 2 laps after the restart, I believe in turn 14 it was, it said he cut the corner, even though he did not cut the corner. It was that first right-hand corner, that hard 90 after the short shoot in oval 1 and 2. Did not cut the corner, said he did, and it penalized him an entire lap for it. Everybody who did not pit during the stage break is going to have to pit at some point in time here. I'm surprised they haven't yet, to be completely honest. If Elliott does not pit this time, I'm going to be shocked. Blaney is pushing it extremely hard right now. Barely keeping the car on the racetrack. Really using his tires up, and this stage is 5 laps longer in length than stage 1. Might have to be careful with doing that. Elliott again stayed out of the pits up ahead. I can see him on this long front straightaway. Just getting into turn 1 currently. I do have an Instagram. Name of it is in the chat. I can never remember it. I'm not on it enough, honestly. I say I'm going to try to post more regularly, and I just never think about it. I mean, even growing up, I wasn't really all into social media. The only reason I even have an Instagram is because I have the YouTube channel. Started it probably about a year and a half ago or so. It was a handful of months after I started the channel. NASCAR needs referees. Well, they technically have officials. It'd be hard to score them like in every corner real time though, like on a road course for something like that. That's why they have official, like that's why they use the cameras for replay systems. They don't need officials necessarily. Elliott is still staying out of the pits. There he is that time. Didn't use the access road into that second to last corner. Couple cars are on pit road, just making their way off currently. Bowman, one of those drivers, just making his way out of the pits. Cycle in line right behind Blaney. He's going to have a little bit fresher tires than him. I don't know where exactly he was at in the running order. I think he was inside the top 15. I don't think he was quite inside the top 10 yet. I think Blaney can still get stage points. I just don't think he's going to get the stage win. Oscar Ramirez Herrera, welcome to the stream. Blaney's going to be in dire need of fresh tires once he gets to that stage break, though, with how much he is burning through them currently. Trying to run down Elliott. And Elliott will pit this time. So he went a bit longer than what Blaney probably could have went on a full tank of fuel. Elliott is in. This will get Ryan Blaney his lap back this time by at the start-finish line. Blaney down on the bottom, trying to break whatever draft Bowman would have had behind him, but Bowman wasn't really close enough to get a draft anyway. A lot of cars coming out of the pits on the inside. Keselowski was just outside the top 10. The only chance I think Blaney would have of winning the stage is if Chase Elliott struggles in lap traffic when he gets to the lap traffic in the final few laps of the stage itself. In the draft of Matt DiBenedetto, he'll pull out a line looking to make a pass on the outside into turn 7. And he does. A lot of heavy braking zones off of long straightaways at this track, similar to Watkins Glen, but this track, despite being similar in length and similar in the fact that it's got a couple long straightaways to it, with some sharp corners at that, there isn't really a lot of banking, so you have to take those corners a lot slower to make them. And there's more turns total, which slow the overall pace of this road course per lap down compared to the Glen. Blaney's fastest time today is a 128.530. He ran a 109 second lap barrier time throughout last night's race for his fastest times. Blaney going to get by Stenhouse. He's back inside the top 20. He's trying to get around Keselowski. He's unable to really do it currently. Blaney is in 18th. Stenhouse was about 17th, so I think Keselowski just lost some spots on pit road as well as Bowman. Despite the fact that they pitted well before a lot of other drivers. When he finally makes the pass on Keselowski for 17th. King Diamond Jeff, welcome back. Just realized we're halfway through stage 2 right now also. And he diving underneath Tyler Reddick, trying to make a pass. Can't do it there. Reddick gets the run off the outside of that corner with Blaney getting pinched off just a bit. Blaney looking to make the pass. Turn 14, and he'll be able to do so. Same corner he had a penalty in earlier. Quinn Houff right in front of both Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain right now. Houff is a lap down, actually a second lap down, I believe, at this point. Must have had a slow pit stop. Kyle Busch going to get around him on the outside. Blaney pulling way out of line, trying to break the draft with Reddick behind him. Quinn Houff pulling out of line. He's going to give Ross Chastain a little bit of a run on the outside. Blaney gets down underneath Chastain into turn 1 after he was able to slip by on the outside behind Chastain originally when Houff pulled out of the way to let those two go. Yeah, 82 lap race. These first two stages shorter like they were at the Glen yesterday. Stage 1 a bit shorter. The race overall about 10 laps shorter, but again the lap times themselves are longer. So no surprise there. Will the next gen update be good? Only time will tell. I'd probably lean towards not, considering it's still this game. I don't think the foundation of this game is going to change. I think everything's going to be the same. You're just going to have next gen cars instead of the Gen 6 cars. And the updated driver lineup with that. Could be literally the only enhancement. The actual physics, everything else, that's probably going to be the same. My invalidated lap I had isn't going to change. I mean, that's obviously going to cost Ryan Blaney in the regular season standings potentially at the end, too, if he's going to be costed any sort of stage points here. Definitely tell he's not as fast with this damage either. Stuck around Kyle Busch for about a lap currently. Blaney under Kyle Busch into turn 4. He'll complete the pass. Yeah, 5 gears too. I didn't think about that with the sequential shifter. That'll be interesting to try and get the hang of. Blaney pulling out a line on Christopher Bell. King Diamond Jeff, thanks for the $5 super chat. Appreciate the support. Thanks for the donation. Got this for free somehow. Keegan is underrated. Enjoy. Thank you. Oh, Briscoe got into the wall. Allows for Blaney to try to send it into turn 14. Oh, Briscoe about ran into the side of the 12. Blaney went wide intentionally, trying to stay out of Briscoe's way. Briscoe's getting a turn. He tried to block Blaney, and Blaney did not get out of the way in time. Briscoe goes around for a spin, but we stay green. That's a pass for 11th. No caution. I mean, I'm not going to lie, that was not Blaney's fault. Briscoe just tried to block Blaney. Ran him a bit wide going into the corner, then he tried to block him off the exit. He basically turned himself off the front bumper of the 12. Welcome to the stream, Bryce. That was reverse what he did to Denny Hamlin at Indy last season. Well, he tried to throw a block, though. I mean, I could have lifted and let him in, but I didn't want to. He just moved up. I was not going to go into the grass. I held my line. Then he got back to the gas at a decent spot there, and he's going to have a run on McDowell, who finished 10th at the end of the last stage. Blaney looking to make a pass on the 34 this time, and he does. Blaney back inside the top 10. Larson's lost some spots. He was in 3rd before the green flag pit stops at the beginning of this stage. Now he's in 8th, and Suarez, who was in 4th, is now back to 7th as well. I think some drivers who may have short pitted a little bit earlier have gained a tad bit more track position. Santiago Kid, welcome into the stream. Three more positions, though, up for grabs over the next couple laps for the 12 of Blaney. Five laps to go this time by in the stage. Big run for the 12 car. Now he's in the draft of Kurt Busch. Busch goes to the outside. Blaney will gladly take the bottom. And he'll get around Busch with ease, closing in on Larson. Dives underneath the 5 car. Takes his spot away. Larson may have a chance to cross him back over. This is Blaney's worst area of the track. Surprised he made the pass where he did, to be completely honest. Sends it in now on Suarez. Cole Custer is in 6th. Logano, regular season points leader, in 5th. And of course, teammate of Ryan Blaney's. Suarez slipping as he tries to power back to the throttle off the curbing. Ryan Blaney right in line behind Suarez. Oh, man. Got into the back of him just a little bit on this main straightaway. Now he'll pull out of line into turn 1, looking to make the pass. Side by side. Suarez hangs on to it. Blaney crossing him over, but he's going to have to cross him over to the outside. Blaney's going to overdrive it. He's off into the sand. That's going to cost him a spot to Larson. Now Larson gets by. Blaney going to have to try to get back by the 5 car again. He's going to squeeze around him. Clears him before getting into the braking zone in turn 7. Powering to the inside of Suarez. Slide job, and Blaney got them both. Up to 7th. Blaney riding around on about 9-lap Boulder tires, too. Plus a little damage after getting in the back of Austin Dillon on that restart The checkup in turn 7. Had that invalidated lap even though he didn't actually cut the corner in turn 14, but he is trying to make up as much time as he possibly can here. I think he's still got a shot to at least finish top 5 in this stage. Trying to break whatever draft he can with Suarez behind him. He's really pulled Suarez immediately after passing him. I wouldn't doubt that Blaney could actually get up to second if he runs perfect lap times these final few laps, especially if lap traffic becomes a factor. Elliott's so far ahead, I think he's got the stage win. The game has definitely costed Blaney another playoff point. Back to Vegas when it costed him 5 playoff points and a potential win. And a dive bomb into turn 7 on Custer. Makes a clean pass for 6th. See, Denny Hamlin is up inside the top 3 for the first time today. Truex up to 4th. He gained a spot or 2. He was in 5th place when the green flag pit stop started for those drivers. And Blaney's going to have to pit during the stage break because he'll have to pit within the first probably 2 or 3 laps after the stage anyway. Since he did not pit during the midst of the stage. I think FIFA 21. $47 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. 25 likes already, not at the end of stage 2 yet. Appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Had about 60 people watching last night's race at one point in time. A lot more competitive a race today. Even though Blaney didn't sweep the stages yesterday, he's actually got a possibility of scoring more stage points today than what he did at Watkins Glen last night. Chase Elliott's going to be tough to beat today. So he is looking to win stage 2 after Blaney won stage 1. Big race win. He just got penalized another lap for cutting the course on Logano. He didn't even cut the course. He went wide off the straightaway, but there's no out of bounds there. If you go back and watch the Indy Road Course race last year, guys are going all over the place down there. They're going like 4 or 5 wide on restarts. As he went around the outside to pass Logano, he's going to get costed another lap, and now he's going to finish a lap down at the end of the stage. The second invalidated lap this stage for Ryan Blaney. Now he's going wide in turn 14. Corner, he was on the straight. Yeah, I know. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like I was off in the grass either. That is unbelievable. That's the second one. That was 2 different areas of the track, so I know not to do that again. I did it the lap before, but it didn't penalize me, and then that lap it did. Well, now Blaney isn't going to get any stage points. If you're getting his lap back and back inside the top 5, he's going to be a lap down at the end of the stage because he's not going to catch Elliott. Byron's in 2nd, Truex 4th, and Hamlin in 3rd in front of him, but Elliott is way ahead. And this is the second to last lap of stage 2 currently. This game is trying to make sure Blaney doesn't win 3 races in a row. See some cars up there, but I think they're lap cars. Definitely don't think they're cars on the lead lap. Brian Rodriguez, welcome to the stream. Contact with Byron in a couple straight corners. Gonna be side by side. Hendrick Motorsports still running 1-2 right now at the front of the field. Final lap of stage 2. Blaney scored in 35th, 1 lap down after 2 penalties. for quote-unquote cutting the corner, even though Blaney never cut any of the corners. And it was on a straightaway the last time where he got penalized. It's like corner cutting on a straightaway. Never have I ever. A1 Patriot, welcome to the stream. I am a Red Wings fan. Hey, go Wings. These passes are even going to be for position for Blaney either. His first few cars ahead of him are 2 laps down. He's already ahead of him on the leaderboard. So what could have been a second place finish in the stage for Blaney is going to end up being a 35th place finish instead. And honestly, he shouldn't have even had the first penalty either. Chase Elliott's just crossing the start finish line right now as we speak. So Chase Elliott has won stage 2. No stage points at stage 2 after winning the stage and the opening stage for Ryan Blaney. What a nightmare this second stage has been. I don't know why the stage ended before I got to the start-finish line, but regardless of the fact, Chase Elliott has won stage 2. William Byron second, Denny Hamlin third, Martin Truex Jr. fourth, Joey Logano fifth, Cole Custer sixth, Daniel Suarez seventh, Kyle Larson eighth, Kurt Busch ninth, Michael McDowell rounds out the top 10, and Blaney will be a lap down to start this final stage. And we're going to see Ryan Blaney hit pit road this time. I didn't take a picture of the stage results. My bad on that one. I'm not repairing damage. How do you get a corner cutting penalty on a straightaway? I don't know. That's the logic of this game. It doesn't make any sense. Ah, yes, floor is made of floor. Oh, BNSF Trains of Fullerton, welcome to stream. He's a Red Wings fan too. I need to pause it for a quick second because I have to go back and take a screenshot of the stage 2 results. I didn't take a picture on my phone. I gotta go back and find it. I cannot believe that though. The second one was just asinine, but the first one, the first one was too. They were both penalties that should not have happened. I swear if I don't win this race. And not only not winning the race, but it already costed me a playoff point because I should have won the stage. But it costed me 10 regular season points, and obviously you guys have seen, and maybe if you haven't paid attention so far, at the top of the screen are the regular season and playoff standings so far this year. That you'll see how tight the regular season standings are from pretty much 3rd through 8th. And Blaney is in 8th, or 3rd through really the rest of the top 10. Game is dog poop emoji. Dog emoji, poop emoji. Brandon Anderson, welcome to stream. And we've got the car capable. Elliott and Blaney are so equal on speed, though. That's what's going to be tough to try and beat him. Hopefully with pitting during the stage break, Blaney can make one last stop during the stage, but I'm not entirely sure that that's the case. Green flag's going to be in the air. I'm surprised I have control of the car before the start-finish line. It's probably going to be a stack up in turn 1 up ahead. Blaney's going to send it. Trying to get as many of these spots back as possible. Now he's going to have fresher tires. Oh, there's a hole. And he found it. Right alongside Corey LaJoie. That opened up quick. Harrison Burton off the curbing, hangs on to the race car, trying to get around Keselowski. Blaney going to take it 3 wide underneath the 2 Fords. Affiliated teammate, and then the Penske teammate, of course, of Keselowski. Bit of a stack up. Almost turned Chastain. At the 29th. Probably going to be a stack up in turn 7 again. He's waiting for it. Yep, there they go. Passes another 4 cars. Trying to get his lap back as quick as possible. He needs to go. This is where he's going to be able to gain the most time. It's going to be right now. Well, not only the field is all bunched together on the restart, but oh, Larson just got in the wall. Might be an opening for another position gain. Blaney entered pretty flat, kind of got pinched off. Didn't quite fill the void quick enough after Larson got in the wall. And out of this long straight. Blaney drafting behind Larson. 47 laps total in the final stage today. Elliott's already starting to pull away from William Byron and the rest of the field. Can Chase Elliott get his second win of the season today? And he slides under Custer, trying to beat him back to the gas. It's going to get tight into the chicane. Blaney barely makes the corner. Custer with the crossover. He got back around him. Blaney going to block the inside. Larson going to go back up high. Blaney going to try to double cross Custer into turn 7. He gets around him, bleeds the brakes a little bit to just keep the car on the track. Pass on Logano. Truex, Hamlin, Byron right in front of him. Final corner, he'll get to the outside of Truex. Looking to the outside of the 19 car at least. Can't quite make the pass on him. Trying to get to the right rear corner panel of the 19, but he's not quite there. Now he's there. He's side drafting him just enough. Pulls him back on the main straightaway. Sends it into turn 1. Runs into the side of Denny Hamlin. Hamlin up off the curb, gets sideways now. Blaney kind of forced him into that mistake. Physically. Through the contact. Allowed for Blaney to make the pass on the outside. Now he just runs into the back of Byron. That worked as a brake check, though, on the 12 car. That launched the 24 a little bit further out in front of him. Oh, well, there we go again. And he pushing a little bit too hard right now. Into turn 7, underneath the 24. He'll make the pass on him. He's got to get back on the lead lap. Caution would definitely get him back into this if he can get his lap back first. It is looking like it's a 2-stop final stage for Ryan Blaney. He'd have to go 23 and 24 laps on 2 runs, and I think he can only go as far as 22 laps on a run, unfortunately. So he is likely going to have to pit twice. He'll try to go 23 on the first one and then try to push it to the end from there on the second stop. Caleb, welcome to the stream. Do another season with the new cars. I plan on it. This is the final season for NASCAR 21 edition, but with the 22 update, I'm going to treat it like another game. I do plan on doing another one when the time comes. So this is it for this. This is the go-home season with the Gen 6 car on the channel. Hoping the game drives better by that time after another patch or two. Video game vlogs and more. Welcome to the stream. Blaney is not going to the hauler after the race. He's going to go to the hauler and he's going to slap Mike Helton across the face. And what'd you give me these 2 penalties for, Mike? That's what he's going to do. Gonna grab him by the tie and pull him face down on the desk. Listen here, buddy. You give me my 2 laps back. Or else. I don't even think Mike Helton's the right guy in charge for me to slap, but here's the first name that came to mind. Who's the director of competition? Is it Steve O'Donnell? Well, it's one of the Steves. I don't know which one it is. There's two Steves. I don't know which one I have to slap. I'm probably going to slap them both. Knock each other's heads together. Nathan Elliott, welcome to the stream. You think a driver would get parked for even saying that over the radio? I feel like he would. I'd definitely get fined for it. Yeah, I'm definitely not pitting anytime soon. You're gonna be telling me to pit like every lap the rest of the race. Here's Chase Elliott in the 9 car. Ryan Blaney looking to get back on the lead lap for the second different time. It's a 2-stop race to the finish for everybody in this field. So he's going to have to make it up the old-fashioned way. Unless he tries to win this on fuel mileage, but I don't think he can make it. Right in line behind Elliott. Gave him a little push that actually launched Elliott a little further out ahead of Blaney. He's thinking he had enough clearance behind him. And he'll be able to clear Elliott in turn 1. So Ryan Blaney back on the lead lap again. He's going to have to make up a minute and a half from here. We'll see if he can do it. It's a lot of time. That's 90 seconds. He's got fresher tires now, so he's able to get through the field pretty quickly there. Ideally, if a caution came out, that would benefit this 12 team so much. So the plan is going to be to go 23 laps into this stage before pitting. Pit coming to lap 24, and then try to make it to the end of the race from there. It's risky, but you got nothing to lose. I mean, you can obviously lose more regular season points, but he's likely not going to get a good finish anyway if he doesn't try to make this stage on one less stop. He can make it on one less stop and still lose. So I don't think he can really save fuel. He's just banking on being able to go an extra couple laps than originally what we thought going into the race when the window was 20 to 22 laps. He's hoping he can go 23 and 24 laps. Extra lap or two is a long time around a road course, though. Yeah, we are halfway through today's race. Time for the trivia question. I'll pause it when I get back to the main straightaway. Of course, that'll officially get... Well, I guess we are halfway. I'm still on lap 41, but Chase Elliott, of course, is not. Not being too far behind Blaney. We'll see if Blaney can come back, though, from a penalty to potentially win. He came back from a wreck last night to win. So he wrecked last night, came back and won. We'll see if he can come back from a penalty today and win. 2 penalties at that. $40 laps to go. Alright, I'll pit. Or, I won't pit. I'll pause it. I have to look up a trivia question for you guys tonight. Indianapolis Motor Speedway track fact. Alrighty. Taking a little bit to load. You have to give me a second, guys. Indy Roval track facts. They've only ran one cup race there, so it's gonna be kind of hard to find it. S2M, welcome to the stream. How long was last year's red flag? I was there in person. I probably can't. What do you mean I can't connect to the site? Oh, there it goes. That was weird. All right. All right, easy question. Hang on. Yeah, it's a semi-easy question. I was just making sure I had my track fact correct. In what year did the Brickyard 400 have the least amount of cautions of any other Brickyard 400? So that is tonight's trivia question. What year did the Brickyard 400 have the least amount of yellows in a Brickyard 400? That is tonight's trivia question. First one to get it in the chat gets it correct, but you can only get one guess per person in the chat. So you can't start spamming year after year after year. You get one guess per person in the chat. Not 2020. Not 2015. No, that race had a lot of yellows. That was the one Casey Kane won, wasn't it? That one had a lot of yellows. Or no, that was the one Casey Kane won 2017. Not 2017. Least amount of cautions. Not 2022, because that was on the road course. Well, they haven't raced there yet this year. But not 2022. Not 2016. Not 2007. Give you guys the answer to the trivia question at lap 45, the end of lap 45. You can't get it before then. Not 2013. Not 2010. I did say one guess per person in the chat. But nobody's gotten the year right, though, so far either. You guys only get one guess in the chat. Nobody's gotten it right on the first guess. Furfur Express was close, though. No, not 2008. That was the year of the all those tire cautions. Whichever one, the announcer said there were no cautions. The guy spun immediately after. I don't know if that was the case or not. I was just looking off Racing Reference to get the answer. Blaney going wide. It's going to cost him a little bit of time in that corner. I know 2008 was your only guess. I didn't call you out on it, but there were a lot of other people that had stated multiple years. You have a guess? Oh, I guess he's already guessed it. Not 94, no. Not the inaugural race. There weren't many yellows in that one, though. Not 2003. I'll give you guys a hint only because there's another lap and a half left before I give you guys the answer. I have seen the answer, but it was one that somebody already answered after they gave an original answer. There's somebody else who had multiple guesses, and it wasn't their first one. For Express going for the... Yeah, you already said 96, though. It wasn't 96. '93, the year I was born. Well, they didn't run the Brickyard 400 in '93, so that's not it. You already guessed 2003 also. I think you had one before that, too. Yeah, you guessed 2010 also. No, not 2016. A lot of the ones in the late 2010s and into 2020 had a lot of cautions. They definitely didn't have the least amount. And even if you counter the road course race last year, that wouldn't be the answer either. Even though out of technicality, it wasn't the Brickyard 400. I still called it the Brickyard 400 because it was NASCAR at Indy, but it still had more yellows. Derek Booth says 99. That is not correct. Thanks for tuning into the stream tonight, Derek. Santiago Kid guessing again. No, it's not 2004. Somebody got it, but it wasn't their first guess. So I couldn't count it. You guys have a few more corners for me to finish this lap up. If anybody that has not already guessed what year had the least amount of cautions of any other Brickyard 400. Blaney's starting to catch the back of the field right now, at least the back marker cars. A lot of them he's already passed 4th position while he was a lap down, but now he's on the lead lap. And he'll try to pass them as actual lap cars this time around.
Got one left.
Nope, not 97.
Bring to us this lap. Clear.
We're on lap 46 right now. I gave you guys the lap 45. I haven't seen anybody new answer it correctly. I did hear about Tyler Reddick going to 23:11. I talked about it as soon as the race started earlier tonight. So if you want my first raw take, I kind of talked about it for a few laps. The start of the race. Go back towards the beginning. I feel like a lot of people that are coming in the chat for the first time are probably going to keep asking me the same thing, so I don't want to keep repeating myself. Definitely shocking, though. I'll say that much. But yeah, Furfur Express got it on his second attempt. It was 1995. 1995, the second year of the Brickyard 400. Dale Earnhardt Sr. got the win. 1 caution in that race. That was it. It may have been after the checkered flag wave. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I know somebody mentioned in the chat it's after they cross the checkered flag. I'm not sure if that was the case or not. But they had 1 yellow that year. Pulling out of line to get by the 62 of Gone. Looks like there's some cars exiting pit road right now. Denny Hamlin, who was inside the top 3, just made his way off the pit lane. So the leaders are pitting currently. Blaney most certainly isn't going to pit anytime soon. He's going to try to make this race on 1 stop. He's going to be giving up some time on old tires, so he is really banking on this 1-stop strategy working out for him. He's about 10 laps away from his potential final stop of the race today, trying to make it a 3-stop race today at Indy. And it is going to be close. Hamlin getting held up behind one of the cars on older tires right in front of him. And one of the back markered slower cars in the field at that as well. Can't tell who exactly it is. Looks like it may be Chris Buescher. Oh, it's Kevin Harvick. Never mind. These two battling for position. And he going a bit wide in this final corner to get around Timmy Hill on the outside. Harvick pulling out of line right now, trying to protect the bottom as they go towards turn 1. Oh, wow, a little contact. Hamlin throwing a big block on Harvick. Blaney charging in hard into turn 1 himself. He got into the back of the 4 car. I think that actually kept him from going off into the grass. He sent it deep to try and get underneath Anthony Alfredo. I have to say, it kind of worked. Didn't really get into Harvick too much, and Harvick was slow getting into the corner anyway because of the contact with Denny Hamlin that the 4 car had. LGBT NASCAR fan Mark Kearns, welcome to the stream. Ray Mack loves Boy Booty, welcome to the stream. That was a big block. We did see one spin earlier in the day. Chase Briscoe spun off the front bumper of the 12 of Blaney after he tried to throw a block, and I think it was the exit of turn 15. Blaney closing in on Hamlin. Blaney can make it on one stop. It's going to be a battle for a legitimate position on the track, but Hamlin's got a little bit fresher tires than the 12 right now. Blaney trying to find a way around him still. Big run in the draft right behind Denny Hamlin right now. Cody Ware staying wide. Blaney to the inside, 3 wide initially. Now he's underneath Denny Hamlin into turn 1. Hamlin a bit wide. Overruns the corner, and Ryan Blaney outbreaks the 11. Back inside the top 15 once he gets by the 77 of Justin Haley on the outside into turn 1. Way deep into the braking zone as he tries to get underneath the 6 of Ryan Newman. Can't quite do it. Into the S's. Side by side in a tight area of the track. And in this final corner in the S's, Blaney still alongside Ryan Newman. Couldn't clear one another there. And now the 12 is clear off of turn 13. Into 14 as he closes on Bubba Wallace. Down to the inside of the 23 car, really tight. Davison coming into the pits now. Blaney clears Wallace on the outside in the final corner. And we'll go to the bottom of the racetrack trying to break the draft from Wallace behind him. Ryan Blaney back to 11, trying to fight from being a lap down 2 different times in today's race. Started this final stage 1 lap down. After getting a lap back towards the end of stage 2, he had 2 invalidated laps. The game gave the 12 car a black flag 2 times in stage 2. One for cutting turn 14, even though he didn't cut it. He had 2 tires on the curbing, and then his left side tires were well above the curbing. That shouldn't have been a penalty. Then he had a penalty on this straightaway right here off the exit of the chicane as he made a pass for 5th at the time on Logano that was deemed illegal on the straightaway. So he knows not to go too far wide off the exit of the corner now. He made a pass the lap before the same way but didn't get penalized for it. Did it there and got penalized. He's trying to come back. Obviously, it cost him a chance to sweep the stages today. He won stage 1 but was not able to win stage 2. And now, just to try and win this race, he's going to have to make it on 1 stop. And he's still going to have to try to outpace Elliott on top of that on old tires for the rest of this run. And as well, at another point in time, he's going to have older tires trying to run down Chase Elliott before the end of the race. These laps are clicking by pretty quick, all things considered, too, because we only have 32 laps to go this time by. Fast race pace with no cautions Another invalidated lap for Ryan Blaney. Are you kidding me? That was off the final corner on the exit. He went wide and it said he cut the corner. And now he's a lap down again. For the third different time today. I am befuddled right now. I have no words. I don't think Chase Elliott's that far ahead of him, too. You have to make up another lap on him. That is unbelievable, man. That is 3 times in this race. I tried to keep the realistic commentary going throughout, but when that stuff happens, it's kind of hard to. Well, it looks like both the Steves are going to get slapped across the face now. I was going to slap one of them. I didn't know which one was involved in the race control department. I can never remember the two. I'm going to tie both their shoelaces together. JC1424, welcome to the stream. Just great. Perfect, really, yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong. This game isn't broken. Not at all. Who said this game was broken? I didn't say it was broken. I went through the grass, but I went wide, though. I didn't actually cut the corner. Like, cutting a corner is taking, like, a shortcut. I went wide. I lost time. I lost time because I went wide. Like, I get I clipped the grass. I'm not saying I was deserving of any of the 3, but if I was most deserving of any of them, it was probably that last one. But I went wide and lost time. I literally had to lift to keep it off the wall and keep from blowing a tire because I had the complex damage on. That would have been a severe penalty enough. I just would have stayed in the gas and crammed the wall. I guess I would have gotten a double whammy for that because I would have gotten the invalidated lap on top of it. Maybe there'll be a giant pile up and the curb will break in turn 5 like it did in real life last year. We'll get a late caution, get our lap back. Well, we won't get the lap back because the free pass doesn't work in this game, so never mind. We have to get back on the lead lap and then hope for a caution. Yeah, I think that one... I think Blaney had a small shot to win this race still, but I think after that last penalty, it's pretty much out the window without a caution. We haven't seen many cautions on road courses this season. I think we had 1 or 2 at Sonoma, and we might have had 1 at the Daytona road course. Definitely didn't have any at Coda. Didn't have any last night at Watkins Glen or Road America earlier this season, outside of the stage breaks alone. And haven't had any yet today with now less than 30 laps to go. So you have to pretty much bank on this race staying green to the end. And we still don't even know that Ryan Blaney could exactly make it on fuel on 1 stop anyway with pitting during the stage break. He's the only one trying to make it on 3 stops. Imagine pitting 1 time less than everybody else in the field and still finding a way to lose the race. Not only lose the race, but potentially finish a lap down. Not like it's a slow pace either. R6, welcome to the stream. Yeah, our trivia question today was what year was the least amount of cautions in the Brickyard 400? 1995 was the answer. Had one caution that season. And that season's race, not the entire season. That wouldn't make any sense. Well, I guess it's not impossible, but it is now, but at the time, I guess it wasn't impossible. You guys get the point. Lap 20, again, 20 to 22 laps was the estimated pit window for tonight's race based off of other races I've done at this track on the game. Trying to figure out the telemetry, how much fuel we ran over the course of a full run. Blaney's trying to go 23 laps and 24 laps for pitting during the stage break. He's currently scored 29th, 1 lap down. I believe he's the first car 1 lap down. Thoughts on the Reddick news? Yeah, I was surprised. I've been getting asked that a lot tonight, but I'm also not surprised by getting asked that a lot. I think it's a risky move, though, at least the way things shape up right now. Just because of how good the Chevrolets have been so far out of the gate with the next-gen car compared to any other manufacturer. In RCR, you can debate that both RCR cars are running more consistently than both 2311 cars this year. Reddick definitely is, but even Austin Dillon, if there weren't so many winners below the cutoff line, he would point his way in the chase the way things were looking right now, too, because I think he is just behind Reddick in the overall standings. That was a tight squeeze. I don't think I've ever won 3 races in a row on this game before, and I thought I was going to have a good shot at it coming into the night. I mean, the way stage 1 went so smoothly, Blaney won the first stage. Took him about 8 laps to get to the lead. It was a good battle between him and Elliott. There's going to be a nice duel between those two. It's hard to tell who's been faster because they haven't really been racing around each other. Last time Blaney caught him, he unlapped himself, but he had much fresher tires because of pitting during the stage break. Compared to Elliott, he was on about a dozen lap older tires by the time Blaney had pitted. Then a few laps later, got around him at the beginning of the stage. But now the next time he passes him, instead of it being for the lead, it's going to be just to get his lap back again. I think one thing that I mentioned in a post I made in the comments section on another video regarding the news earlier today was just think that at the end of 2023 we could be seeing 3 future Hall of Famers and 3 former Cup Series champions retire in the same season. If Kurt Busch retires at the end of the 2023 season, Harvick's contract's up with SHR at the end of 2023, and Martin Truex Jr. extended for at least 1 more year, and if he retires at the end of that season, that's all 3 of them we would lose after the same year. I can't recall another season in NASCAR history where that many former champions, or, like I said, definitely future Hall of Fame drivers would have retired in the same season. We've seen a lot of drivers retire over the last handful of years that are already in the Hall of Fame now, or, you know, will soon be on their way, but I don't remember a year where that many retired at once. That's obviously if they don't sign further contract extensions, which they still could. But it's leaning towards retirement for all three of them. Maybe they all three still continue. Who knows? I mean, that would be impossible. I'd probably lean towards Kurt Busch retiring likely more so than any of the other drivers. I feel like Harvick, if SHR can't get their stuff together and soon, like if we get through halfway through next season and they're still kind of the same way they are now speed-wise, I think Harvick's done at the end of next year. But Harvick is still consistent even in that equipment, but if he's not competing for wins week in and week out, I don't think he's going to want to stay through and keep racing following 2023. Truex is kind of in a similar situation, but he is still a little bit more consistent than Harvick. I mean, he's 8th in the regular season. Oh, that is not going to work. I'm surprised Cody Ware made that pass on Quinn Half side by side in the chicane. I was waiting for them to take each other out. Right in front of the 12 car. Blaney coming in hot. That was not perfect by any means. Well, we're on lap 23. Might go one more lap. He's going to have to go one lap either now or later, and if he tries to push it one lap now, then we know for a fact he can make it a one stop to the end. So that will be the case. Blaney will stay out one more lap and he'll pit the following time by. Yeah, I know he stated that already. I remember a while back when he said he kind of wanted to be this generation's Mark Martin, too. I can't remember how many years ago he said that quote, but I feel like it might have been when he signed his original extension to 2021 when it was, I mean, what, he would have been racing until last year, where I think he's, what, 44 or 45 now? I don't know if he meant that, meaning he wanted to race closer to 50 at the time. Obviously, things have changed between now and then. Of course, when he signed that contract, his kid, you know, definitely wasn't racing yet. I don't even know if Keelan was born at the time. I don't know how old Keelan is. I mean, he could be 12 years old for all I know, and I could be talking out my rear end right now, but I do remember him saying that at one point in time. He's got the capability to do so if he's in good equipment. I mean, you look at what Mark Martin was able to do in good equipment. I don't see Harvick taking a giant step back yet in his career, even at the age he's at right now. I think he's still definitely at a high level. If we were under a points format with consistency, I mean, he'd definitely be in the top 10 in points, but he'd be flirting with a top 5 finish in the point standings. I don't think he'd be necessarily a contender for the championship, but he'd be right there. I think the big thing for him is winning races. I just realized I should have pit right there. I was talking and I kind of got myself sidetracked. Hopefully Blaney can go one more lap. He's really pushing this run out now. He's going 3 laps longer than what I thought was possible. Well, if he runs out of fuel here, you know why. That would just put the cherry on top to the way this second half of the race has gone. Really, since middle of stage 2 is gone. Keelan 7. Yeah, I was going to guess about 8. That sounds right, though. I didn't think he was 12, but I was just waiting for somebody in the chat to be like, oh, he's 12 years old. He's 14. I wouldn't have argued it, though. I wasn't entirely sure. Blaney in the wall there. If I would have blown a tire, at least I was coming into pit this time, so I would have been overly upset. Trying to slow down to pit road speed, and he is there. And I don't know why the AI is taking me through the grass right now. Yeah, there's a little scrape on the wall, too. Well, this is the money stop, if you can call it the money stop. Final stop of the day for Ryan Blaney. It'll be a 4-tire stop. This is the first green flag stop he has taken all day long. 22 laps to go in the race when he makes his way off of pit road. He wasn't that far behind Chase Elliott, but he was still a lap down. So he's definitely not going to make up that much time in the end of this race. Hopefully he can get back inside the top 10, at least get a decent points day. That's all he can hope for now. He may lose time in the regular season standings. May lose points in the regular season standings. He was only 1 point behind Tyler Reddick for 7th coming in. Reddick did not get stage points in stage 1. I can't remember if he got any in stage 2. I kind of spanned through it quickly. I know I took a screenshot of it, but I'd have to go back and look after the race. So at least the 10 stage points Blaney had in stage 1. If he gets a top 10 at least, I think he will cycle out ahead of the 8. Blaney cycles back up onto the racetrack. Right behind the 10th place car of Kyle Larson. He's going to have fresher tires to really try to attack these guys now. And they all still have to pit one more time. Kyle Busch going to Rick Ware Racing, that will never happen. He wouldn't let that happen. I think it'd be kind of cool to see both him and Kurt race on the same team. I mean, they kind of are now, but it's not exactly the same team. Like, they're not in the same race shop day in, day out. Truck's checked up right in the middle. Oh, I just blew this corner. All right, I'm surprised I got it to slow up. Oh, wow. Truex went in there just as hot as Blaney did, and after Blaney sideswiped the 24 of Byron, I think Truex did the same thing, got around him for 6th. Byron's fell back. He was 2nd at the end of stage 2. Finished 3rd in stage 1. He's having himself a good day so far. Comes in the top 5 in the regular season point standings. Hard into turn 1, trying to get around Cole Custer in the 41 car. He does. Custer having just a great performance on a road course nonetheless, currently in 5th. He had stage points in each of the first 2 stages as well. A lot of the drivers who started in the top 10 have been running here from start to finish in this one, and we haven't seen a huge shakeup in the running order so far. I haven't noticed anybody out of the race either. Matt Mills is in 40th. We just passed him. Blaney will definitely get back on the lead lap before the end of the race. I was waiting for it to give me a penalty for doing that, to be completely honest. Luckily it didn't. Pushing a little too hard again. Well, the good news is, one more night of this game this week, and that's it. That will be tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Michigan for the second to last race of the regular season. Elliott wins. That will not be a different winner. We'll still be sitting at 12 different winners on the season. Again, we know some drivers will make their way in off of points. I'm missing my marks all over the place right now. Harvick going back to RCR. Could you imagine? After 2023, he goes to the 8 car. They give him the 29 back. How about that? Finish his career right where he started it. That'd actually be pretty cool to be. I'd be down for that. I mean, I think they're competitive enough right now. I mean, honestly, they're more competitive than SHR right now. I mean, Harvick himself is higher in points. I think Almirola is too. Well, Almirola and Reddick are right near each other in the standings. The overall, like, regular season standings. I don't think it'd be a downgrade by any means. They've at least had competitive speed to win a race or two this season. Well, obviously, Reddick's won a race, but he's had speed to win a couple races. And I mean, if Reddick could go out there and win a race in RCR equipment, I think Harvick can. At least at the state of his current ability. Maybe 2 years down the line he can't, but like as of right now, I think he could. That'd be pretty cool, though. Goes back to run the 29 car for a season or two. Has there ever been a... I'm trying to think of a driver that started his career somewhere, left for a while, and then came back to finish his career at that same spot. You see it in other sports quite a bit, but I can't think in NASCAR if that's ever happened before, or at least a driver that comes to mind that may have happened before. You guys will have to let me know down in the chat. Really get to see where Blaney's going to cycle after everybody else pits. Wonder how much longer they're going to run before they pit, because we have about 17 laps to go this time by for all the lead lap cars. See Truex doing that? Doing what? I missed it. But going back to the team he started with, I mean, DEI's not around anymore, so that wouldn't be possible. Kenseth was close. That's true. He did go back to Roush with the 6 car part-time there. That's probably the closest we've seen. Honestly, I really can't. I'm still trying to think of somebody that might have done that. And I honestly cannot think of anybody who went back to the place they started their career after they left for a while. I mean, the closest thing would be if Truex went to Junior Motorsports, if Junior Motorsports went to Cup. Oh, Jamie McMurray, you're right, you're right. Okay, that's correct. McMurray was there for a long time, though. It wasn't like... I don't know if he meant for that to be the end of his career. Because he went back to Ganassi in 2010, and he didn't retire till after the 2018 season. So that would be the closest, but he was there for 9 seasons. He was there longer in the second half of his career than what he was there the first half. So he got his first start in 2002. And then he left for Roush in 06. That sounds right. Maybe 07. I think it was 06 he left for Roush. So he was with Ganassi for 3 full-time seasons. But then he went back for 9 years. But you're right, though. Bob983, welcome to the stream. He also mentioned McMurray in the chat. Actually, he was the one that did. I thought somebody else mentioned it. 16 laps to go this time by. Still waiting on the rest of the field to hit pit road. Kurt Busch in 4th is right in front of Ryan Blaney. Blaney in the draft. Pushing hard down into turn 1. Closes in on the 1 car. He's been mistake-free all day long. There's only one more road course race this season. That will be the Roval in the round of 12 of the playoffs. If, of course, Blaney can make it to the round of 12 of the playoffs. I'm not running the full season if I get eliminated early. I have not won a championship on this game, though. I'm 0 for 2. I'd like to win one. I really am not going to do another season. This is it. Yeah, that'd be cool, though, if Harvick went back. Drove the 29. Then he'd have the 29 and the 3 on the same track for the first time ever. At the same time, that'd be pretty cool.
Stay right. All clear.
Kurt Busch drove for James Finch. Yeah, but that wasn't out of willingness, so.
Clear, clear.
Kurt Busch kind of lost a lot of ride opportunities before that. So it wasn't. That was like a last destination kind of thing. Like Kyle Busch will have other people will want Kyle Busch on their team if Joe Gibbs Racing can't get him. Honestly, I could personally see Stewart-Haas Racing picking up Kyle Busch if Joe Gibbs if he was to leave Joe Gibbs Racing, which I don't think he will. I haven't really thought he was going to leave Joe Gibbs Racing at all, but I feel like Stewart-Haas Racing would probably be where Busch would end up going. I mean, his brother was there recently. I know him and Tony had running at some point in their career, but also Kurt Busch and Tony Stewart had running at one point in their career too.
Clear all around.
Tony knows how talented Kyle Busch is. I think in a heartbeat he would replace him for Cole Custer. I mean, let's be honest.
Stay right.
There's no way they would not replace him for Cole Custer. Well, Almirola's done at the end of the year, too, but I think Priest is taking that ride. But if they can get Kyle Busch, then bring Priest in for Custer, I think they probably would. I know Custer's dad is associated with Haas in some way, shape, or form. I can't remember exactly what he does there, but I know he's associated there. But I still think if you're 28th in points in SHR equipment 2 straight years, I feel like that's going to be it. He would have been outside the top 20 his rookie year if he didn't get that win at Kentucky, too, which he only led 4 laps all season that year. Which included leading a lap or 2 on that overtime restart. And Haas is one of those organizations that fund their own car a lot too, so I don't think they would have any problem throwing Haas on the side of the car. He's going to own his own team? I don't think he can. I don't think he would be able to own his own team. When you consider the fact that Denny Hamlin's already got his own team, I don't think Kyle Busch is... I don't think he would do that. There wouldn't be a chance either. Where would he get a charter from? Charters are already hard to come by. You had Junior Motorsports wanting to come into the Cup Series. 2311's probably going to want to expand. I would imagine the way Trackhouse has been performing recently, they're probably going to want to expand in the future, I would imagine. I don't think that would be very logical. I just can't see that happening. Joey Logano up to 3rd. Old contact between the Penske teammates. Blaney forcing his way in there to get around the 22 car. Oh, just kept it out of the grass, and then when he lifted, Logano got back into the side of him again. Blaney was trying to keep it out of the grass so he didn't get penalized. He almost got turned. Big wheel hop. Go to RFK and be teammates with his best friend, Keselowski. Yeah. Fourth car at Penske. He'd love to be teammates with Joey Logano once again.
Got one right. Still there. All clear.
$11 laps to go for the leaders at the start-finish line. Chase Elliott definitely going to be good on field to the end of the race, considering he went 25 laps on that opening run to start stage 3. A few laps longer than originally we were expecting him to be able to go. Now, Harvick is ahead of Blaney in the regular season standings. He's in second, currently is in 31st, so Blaney is ahead of him. 12 cars currently scored in 28th place. Driving it in deep on Harvick. Almost got into Hamlin. Maybe a little side draft off the exit of the corner. Not that that really did anything. Nor does a side draft really work in this game, but for terms of keeping the commentary realistic, we'll say he side drafted him. Powering by Ryan Newman in the 6th. That'll be a position. Let's go back at 30th right now. Not able to get underneath him. Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon up ahead. So there are definitely spots Blaney could pick up. These are still cars that have to pit.
Clear, clear, clear.
Briscoe's really falling back after his spin back in stage 2. Looks like Newman's going to get around him as well. Almost as if he's got damage. I wonder if somebody else hit him after he spun earlier. Never really got to see with no rearview mirror.
Got one right.
Blaney on the outside of Bubba Wallace.
Clear,
Turn 3 clears him to make the corner back down towards the bottom in turn 4. Couldn't get all the way down to the curbing like he wanted to. A bit of a power slide. Beats Austin Dillon back to the gas. Look to make a pass on Dillon, trying not to go too far wide so he doesn't get penalized on the straightaway again. Clears Dillon, enters deep down to the bottom, gets around Jones, gets into the back of Stenhouse. Stenhouse in 22nd, needs all the spots he can get. He's down 39 points. And it may have to come down to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. having to win one of the last 2 races of the regular season to try and find a way in to the 16-man playoff. And he sends it in on Cindric. Can't quite get alongside of him. Got into him. Contact with his rookie teammate. And he trying to get a draft off Cindric. Cindric coming off the wall a little bit, maybe trying to break the draft. Blaney down low a lot later, and the downshifts it into the braking. Contact with Cindric. Blaney almost lost control and spun out in turn 1. Back inside the top 20 for the time being. Now he's on the outside of the 33. Crosses him over in turn 4, down to the bottom. A little squeeze, and he'll complete the pass.
clear, clear, clear.
I don't know about every time, but I do know that that is the case most of the time, though, Billy. Jimmy Brown, welcome to the stream. He going wide. Could have been worse. Primarily kept it on the track. I think Chase Elliott is currently on pit road. I think after the cycling and pit stops, Ryan Blaney should get back inside the top 15. And he is back inside the top 15. He's currently scored 14th, and I still don't think every car in front of him has hit pit road. They might have. If he could just rally for a top 10 finish at this point, it'd be his 10th top 10 finish of the year. At least he got a playoff point, 10 stage points back at stage 1. Wouldn't be a complete lost effort today. It'd be a solid point stay still. Saying Kyle Busch is the odd man out at Gibbs. Could you imagine if they replaced Ty Gibbs with Kyle Busch? I don't think Ty Gibbs brings in that much more sponsorship than Kyle Busch already does, though. But the contract salary, I guess, would be cheaper for Ty Gibbs, so I guess that's probably where you would make out a little bit better on the short term with Gibbs as far as the cost. I would imagine Kyle Busch is probably asking for quite a bit of money, and he deserves it, though, too. Like, he's still a top 5 driver, even now, with him taking a step back over the last couple of years in performance. Compared to 2015 through 2019. Still a couple more cars on pit road. Blaney up to 12th. Are you kidding me? I swear to... I mean, that's it. Goes the last shot at a top 10 for Ryan Blaney. With 7 laps to go. And he's back to being a lap down for the 4th time today. Oh yeah, definitely top 5 most talented. I'd say top 3 of most talented in the Cup Series.
Clear. Got one left.
On track performance, he's still top 5. I mean, he's a championship 4 threat this year, I think. This is unbelievable. I'm half tempted to just give... I'm doing the points myself this season because the game can't calculate it right anyway. So I'm about ready to give myself the win regardless of the fact. Because we'd obviously be in the lead right now because we haven't had a caution for incident. Why is it still saying invalidated lap? Did I get another one? There is no way. Did I miss turn 1 again? I didn't even miss it the first time. I'm not even focusing anymore. Oh boy, you just spun back across traffic. Not like I'm going to lose any positions. Alex Below signs with McLaren. F1 development driver. Jeez. Kyle Busch, Larson, Elliott. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. And then Chastain. I'd say that's a good top 4. Maybe not for the championship 4 this year, but like if you're talking about talent, I don't know about Larson being championship 4 right now. I'd probably lean towards Blaney just because of consistency. Like, somebody's going to make it on points to the championship 4 regardless. I figure if somebody is going to do that, it'd probably be Blaney. I know he doesn't have a lot of playoff points now, but he would get 9 from finishing where he's at currently in the regular season standings, plus he has 5 stage wins. So he'd have 14 playoff points. Regular season ended today. I don't even know how many laps down we are right now. Did we get black flag 2 laps in a row? Still glitches that need patched in this game, I know. I'm not going to simulate. There's only a few laps left at this point. I mean, what a waste of, what, 2 hours and 12 minutes? At least I don't have to worry about getting black flagged at Michigan tomorrow. But it's also an oval. So the likelihood of me actually making it to the finish regardless of the fact is slim to none. This is a day that got away from Ryan Blaney. This is a win that got away, a max points day that got away, and he is only going to show 10 stage points, and if he finishes 29th, which it's likely looking like that is going to be the case, he's going to get 8 points for his finishing position, 18 points total for today's race. There's a very, very good chance that Ryan Blaney's going to likely lose a spot or 2 in the regular season standings. I'm not sure where Kyle Busch is right now in the running order, but Truex was in the top 5 and scored quite a few stage points. He's 10th in the regular season standings, if I remember correctly, coming into the race today. He might be 11th. He's not that far behind Blaney. He was only 37 points behind him. Lewis Crawley, welcome to the stream. Michael Turner, thanks for tuning in. I think you might have been here already. 40 likes on the stream. Hit the like button regardless of the fact. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. The more likes the stream gets, maybe the more the developers of this game will see that there's glaring issues at this racetrack with track limits. Maybe get it fixed. See, after it happened the first time, I've been trying to take every corner wide, but you want to race on the curbing. Like, that's the natural racing line, is to get 2 tires on the curbing. So to get penalized for that 4 times now today. Well, once was on a straightaway, and it wasn't even in a turn. This is Kevin Harvick. He was 31st last I saw. Blaney's actually got to gain points on him today, but he's second in the standings. That's going to blow Logano's regular season points lead up even more, considering the fact that Logano has scored a few stage points today, and he was in the top 5 last I saw. Austin Cindric also in the top 5, having a solid performance in that 33 car for Penske. And Chase Elliott, who won stage 2, most importantly, is going to pick up a total of 6 more playoff points today with the stage win and a race win, as long as it continues to stay green and we don't have overtime before the finish. Justin Haley is the next driver ahead for position, but I don't think Blaney's going to be anywhere near him by the end of this race to get an extra point out of it. Between this and Vegas, I feel like I'd be right there for the regular season championship. I was over 100 points back going into tonight. But let's say I would have gotten my max points day today. We got a couple other cars on pit road yet. But let's say I would have had a max points day today. And then way back at Vegas when the game glitched and it cost me a win, I ended up finishing like 27th or something like that. That costed me about 25 points. I'd be in the hunt. I wouldn't be in the regular season points lead, but I would be right there with Joey Logano. And I had a self-inflicted wound at Road America that costed a shot at the win at the end. I did get a lot of stage points that day, but same thing with Vegas. But Vegas wasn't my fault. Game glitch there. This is not going to be the 9th win of the season, though, for Blaney. Chase Elliott will be the 6th different driver to have multiple wins this season. He's going to win another road course race in his NASCAR Cup Series career. Yeah, I don't know if I'm 1 or 2 laps down. Not because of COVID. Game's been... Yeah, this is true. And it was not only developed for that long, or in the developing process for that long, but also the game didn't come out till like the second to last week of the season. So it was a late delay. Compared to July, the game came out the year before that, NASCAR Heat 5. So the game came out 4 months late compared to the year before, on top of the fact that they were developing it the prior calendar year before that as well. It's sad. But hey, graphics. Even they glitch out from time to time. I mean, anytime you get close to another car, it shows that they have damage. As soon as you pass them and go to the look back cam, they don't have damage anymore. I give them credit where credit's due. Obviously, they could do a better job of developing a game than I can. I have no intel or intellect in any of this stuff. I just consume. I'm a consumer of the product. But it doesn't mean I can't voice my opinion on it either. Because I am a paying customer. I didn't get a free copy of this game. There are a lot of NASCAR YouTubers that did. I did not. I paid. I paid like all of you guys did. I paid mentally, physically, financially. So this is not going to be the final lap for Ryan Blaney this time by. So he's only 1 lap down. It didn't give him 2 penalties earlier, but it's still 4 penalties total in the race despite not cutting a corner all day. And you guys know if I cut a corner, I take a stop and go penalty. I missed the bus stop at Watkins Glen in last night's race once. They didn't give me a penalty for it. But I took the stop and go penalty, and we still came back to win. Got around Elliott with about 12 laps to go. Like, if I make a mistake where I cut a corner, I'd pay for it. So, therefore, I would turn the penalties off, but you have to have them on and to have the cautions and the stages on. Maybe not to have the cautions on, but to have the stages on. I know for a fact you have to have the rules on. So they enforce the track limits on the road courses. Going to watch the races Sunday? Yeah, I do live commentary on the weekends for the real races. Whenever I'm not there in person, so I will be doing live commentary Sunday for the New Hampshire race. I'm planning on going to the Kings Royal at Eldora Saturday night, World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series race. Big money sprint car race. And I'm probably driving home after it that night, so still definitely planning on doing the Cup Series live stream this weekend. Well, checkered flag is going to be in the air next time by then for Ryan Blaney. This will be his final lap. Chase Elliott is probably about a half a lap away, if not less, from getting the win in today's race. definitely... And I'm not saying Blaney would have necessarily won. It would have been a second place finish bare minimum for Blaney. I think the speed he had in this final stage, he definitely could have won. But maybe the circumstances would have been different if he and the 9 car were having to duel it out. Knowing that Elliott had to make that extra stop because of not pitting during the stage break like Blaney did, that's why I'm saying Blaney probably would have won the race. So he was able to stretch the fuel tank to make it on one less stop. Finished a lap down, so realistically, he only actually won 21 laps in this final run. And 25 the run before that. Checkered flag is already in the air, though. Chase Elliott has won his second race of the season. 24 races in. We will have 2 races to go in the regular season standings going into Michigan tomorrow night. One more corner to go, this time by for Blaney. He's going to end up finishing in 29th, 1 lap down with the undeserving penalties. The checkered flag is going to be in the air for himself at Indy. But Chase Elliott is the winner of the Verizon 200 tonight. Take a look at the finishing results. Quite a few cars finished a lap down. Still waiting on some of the other lead lap cars to finish this race today. But Chase Elliott is still going to get the win. Denny Hamlin ends up second. Joey Logano third. Throwing out that regular season points lead. Kurt Busch with a solid points day, finishing in 4th. Kyle Larson rounds out the top 5. Christopher Bell in 6th. Martin Truex Jr. 7th. Michael McDowell 8th. Kyle Busch 9th. Cole Custer rounds out the top 10. So all 4 JGR Toyotas in the top 9 as well. And Custer having a solid top 10 performance today. Finished on the lead lap towards the end of the race. And it looks as if only 10 cars finished on the lead lap for today's race as well. This solid points day for Kurt Busch is likely going to put him ahead of Austin Dillon, which means Austin Dillon is going to be the last driver above the cutoff line with 2 races to go before the playoffs. But again, Michigan and Daytona. And Daytona is definitely a race that we could see somebody below the cutoff line getting a win. Austin Dillon finished 26th tonight. It looks as if Ricky Stenhouse Jr. beat him, so he definitely gains points on Dillon. Dillon came in 45 points to the good. Stenhouse only beat him by 3 positions, so it looks like that gap between Stenhouse and Austin Dillon is closed a bit. It's down from 45 points to 42, but Stenhouse probably in a must-win situation if he doesn't have a huge points day at Daytona or Michigan over Austin Dillon in the 3 card. Dillon has been pretty fast on the super speedway so far this year, so I think he'll be one of the front runners likely at Daytona as well. 10 cars did finish on the lead lap. Will Eric Almirola win Sunday? I don't think so. Is it supposed to rain in New Hampshire? I have no clue. It's only Tuesday, so even if the forecast shows for it to rain, that could change between now and then easily. I usually don't look at the forecast until it's like 2 days before. Try to get a good gauge on if it's going to rain or not. Especially this time of the year. I feel like it's a little harder to gauge if there's more likely that the humidity could bring like a pop-up shower or something. Feel bad for the console players. The whole next generation upgrade. I think next gen upgrade, you think 30 frames. Think of 30 frames per second to 60 increased rescale. Yeah, that's one thing too. I have noticed people that play on PC, it's a little easier when they're like streaming or making videos of this game, that the quality's better itself too. I try to have my own graphics, at least with the point standings at the top of the screen. I do my best. Try to enhance the product as much as possible. But I'll try to update that then before the Michigan race tomorrow. It's a little harder with having to work, but I'll see if I can get it done. I will get it done. I'll be working on it here tonight for about the next 20 minutes or so before I go to bed. Thanks everybody for watching. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. You definitely hit that like button. 40 likes for the second consecutive night on NASCAR 21 Edition, nonetheless. So we'll get back to the Do It for Dale series before the end of the week. Thursday, we'll go back to the NASCAR 06 Do It for Dale series on the Cup Series at New Hampshire, oddly enough, where NASCAR actually races in real life this weekend. But tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, NASCAR 21 Ignition, second to last race of the regular season at Michigan. Michigan was actually pretty fun, if I remember correctly, from the career mode, so I think it'll be a good race. A lot of drafting is going to play a huge effect tomorrow, so it'll almost be like a mini Daytona before we get to Daytona for the regular season finale. And I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your Tuesday night. Thank you, everybody, for your appreciation and support, as always. Thanks for the super chat earlier again by King Diamond Jeff as well. $5 there. And can't wait to see you guys again. Thanks. Catch you tomorrow night.